Are you addicted to junk food? The answer might surprise you. Next month, London will host a gathering of experts from around the globe, all renowned in the field of ultra-processed foods. This assembly, known as the International Food Addiction Consensus Conference, has a singular, ambitious aim: to achieve recognition of addiction to highly processed junk foods as a bona fide condition. The hope is that this recognition will come not just from the World Health Organization, but also leading psychiatry institutions. Dr. Vera Tarman, an addiction medicine specialist and author of the book Food Junkies, will be one of the voices at the conference. She asserts, "We're getting together to say, yes, this is an actual syndrome." She believes that the addictive nature of these foods is often underestimated. This may sound exaggerated, but Dr. Tarman brings attention to a startling fact. It is estimated that nearly 1/4 of the UK population are obese, and yet they continue to consume junk foods excessively. These consumption patterns, despite causing health issues, mirror the known pattern of addiction seen with substances like alcohol and tobacco. Every obese person and diabetic knows that they shouldn't be eating these foods, but they're hooked, Dr. Tarman warns. She likens these foods to drugs, explaining that constant exposure increases the likelihood of developing a food addiction syndrome. The reasons why ultra-processed foods are so addictive are complex and multifaceted. It's a picture that connects to the food's production and the surrounding food environment. Items that range from crisps, chocolate bars, and soft drinks to seemingly healthy options like flavored yogurts and branded breakfast cereals are often described as hyperpalatable by food experts. This term means that these foods have been meticulously formulated through years of clever chemistry in major food companies' labs. They are then tested on tasting panels to find the perfect balance of sugar, salt, and other ingredients that will make consumers eat as much as possible, thereby maximizing their addictive potential. Just like alcohol or tobacco, junk food can hook you, making it difficult to let go. But why are these ultra-processed foods so addictive? Well, the answer lies in the concept of hyperpalatable foods. These are foods that have been carefully engineered in the laboratories of major food companies to maximize their addictive potential. They're often described as foods that are difficult to stop eating. With decades of clever chemistry, these foods are formulated to hit the precise sweet spot of sugar, salt, and fat that makes us crave more. Now, let's delve a little deeper. Imagine a food item. It could be anything from crisps, chocolate bars, and soft drinks, to seemingly healthy options such as flavored yogurts and branded breakfast cereals. These items are typically described as hyperpalatable. This means they've been meticulously crafted to make people eat as much as possible, thereby boosting sales and maximizing their addictive potential. But how exactly is this achieved? It's all about the combination of taste-inducing ingredients. Sugar, salt, and fat are the primary culprits. These ingredients, when combined, work synergistically, creating a taste sensation that goes well beyond what any single ingredient could produce alone. It's like a taste explosion that keeps you coming back for more. But there's more to the story. Ever wondered why you can't stop after just one bite? It's not just about the addictive nature of ultra-processed foods, but also the tricks food companies employ to keep us reaching for more. According to Chris Van Tulleken, an associate professor at University College London, and author of the book Ultra-Processed People, one of the biggest tricks behind many common ultra-processed foods is a careful balance of opposing tastes. This clever culinary strategy encourages us to accept far more of a particular ingredient, such as salt or sugar, than we otherwise would. Let's take a journey into the world of fizzy drinks, like Coca-Cola for instance, to understand this concept better. Imagine this experiment. You have a glass of tap water, and you start adding sugar. Initially, the sweetness is pleasant, but as you add more, it becomes less palatable. Your body is designed to reject excessive amounts of sugar. It's a natural defense mechanism. But here comes the twist. What if you add a drop of phosphoric acid to the sugary water? What if you make the drink bubbly and cold, and then add a tiny bit of any flavor, from citrus juice to vanilla extract? All of a sudden, the excessive sweetness is masked, making the drink much more palatable. In essence, what you've done is trick your taste buds. You've masked a dose of sugar that your body would normally reject. And it's not just about sugar. The same trick is used with salt and other unhealthy ingredients in ultra-processed foods. So it's not just our lack of willpower that's to blame when we can't stop ourselves from devouring a whole bag of chips or a bottle of soda. The food industry has been playing its part, using a careful balance of opposing tastes to mask the high content of unhealthy ingredients and keep us hooked. As we delve deeper into the world of food addiction, we begin to see that it's not just about what's in our food, but also how it's presented to us. The food industry has mastered the art of masking unhealthy ingredients, tricking our taste buds into wanting more. The impact of this addiction is far-reaching, affecting our health in ways we might not realize. Let's delve into one of the most visible consequences of junk food addiction: obesity. It's a global health problem, affecting approximately 26% of the UK population. But what ties it to our topic? The answer is simple yet alarming: junk food addiction. You see, the characteristics of junk food addiction parallel those of other addictions such as alcohol or tobacco. There's a pattern of continued use despite the negative consequences, an inability to cut down despite the desire to do so, and a significant amount of time spent obtaining, using, or recovering from the substance. In this case, the substance is junk food. Obese individuals often know that their eating habits are detrimental to their health, yet they continue to consume these ultra-processed foods. They're aware that these foods are high in sugars, fats, and salts, and low in nutrients, contributing to their weight issues and associated health problems. But just like any addiction, it's not as simple as just stopping. Dr. Vera Tarman, an addiction specialist, puts it this way: every obese person and diabetic knows that they shouldn't be eating these foods, but they're hooked. She likens these foods to drugs, explaining that constant exposure increases the likelihood of developing food addiction syndrome. And it's not just about overeating. The foods we're talking about are carefully engineered to be addictive, to hit that sweet spot of taste that keeps us coming back for more. They're hyper-palatable, a term that describes their irresistible combination of sugar, salt, and fat. So we're faced with a vicious cycle. The more we eat these foods, the more we want them, leading to overconsumption, weight gain, and the potential onset of obesity. And once we're in the grip of obesity, it becomes even harder to break the cycle of addiction. The allure of these foods is powerful, often overriding our knowledge of their harm. So, what can you do to break free from the clutches of junk food addiction? Firstly, recognition is key. Acknowledge that junk food addiction is a real issue, not a lack of willpower. It's not merely about wanting to munch on that bag of chips. It's about an intense craving that can feel uncontrollable. It's a cycle, and it's not your fault if you're stuck in it. The good news is, there are ways to break this cycle. One effective strategy is substitution. Replace the junk food in your diet with healthier alternatives. This doesn't mean you have to give up on taste. There are countless delicious, nutritious foods out there that can satisfy your cravings without the harmful effects. Love chips? Try baked kale chips or carrot sticks with hummus. Can't resist chocolate? Opt for dark chocolate with a high percentage of cocoa, or fresh fruit for a natural sweetness. Another key strategy is to gradually reduce your intake. Going cold turkey might work for some, but for others, it could lead to intense withdrawal symptoms and make you more likely to relapse. So instead of completely cutting out junk food overnight, try reducing your consumption little by little. If you currently have a soda every day, try having one every other day, then once a week, and so on. Also, don't underestimate the power of support. If you're struggling, reach out. This could be to a friend, a family member, or a professional. Remember, it's okay to ask for help. There are also support groups and resources available that can provide advice, encouragement, and strategies to help you in your journey. Lastly, remember to be patient with yourself. Breaking an addiction is a process, and it might take some time. There might be setbacks, but that's okay. What matters is that you keep trying and celebrating every little victory along the way. Overcoming junk food addiction might not be easy, but it's certainly possible, and the benefits to your health are worth the effort.